Jeff, just I guess first of all, how different the landscape is now than it was 5 years ago, where you not only have the transfer portal the last couple months, but you don't have any news on sign on this normal signing day. And do you see it kind of changing even more as we move forward?
Well, yeah, it's kind of been an uneventful day for us, and yeah, I just think the college landscape has changed quite a bit. Yes, it'll continue to probably adapt moving forward even more, but you know, we just try to, you know, figure it out and make the most of it. So from our end, I think you've always got to be ready for roster change, and that's going to always be guys that graduate, guys that possibly enter the NFL draft, guys that maybe are unhappy with their playing time. And then you factor in that these guys can transfer freely basically whenever they want. So you've got to be prepared to add to your roster. So I just think that we understood that from the beginning. So throughout the entire season until the very end, we were working hard to prepare ourselves to adapt and change our roster to improve our football team. And I think we were in a good position. We were on it early. Our coaches, our recruiting staff identified what we thought could help us, and we were active in going and trying to get that. And in the end, we feel good about what we've brought to the table. Of course, now they got to come here, and we've got to work with them, and they've got to prove their worth, and we've got to gel it all together. But in my opinion, all winter, all spring, all summer, all fall camp, you should be able to piece things together if you put the time in. And I'm looking forward to seeing these guys play.
Jeff, you signed 7 defensive backs out of the portal. I guess how much priority did you place on DBs, knowing the situation you guys had, and then also with MJ coming back, is he going to be ready for a spring?
Well, we're excited to get MJ back. Unfortunately, got injured last year with the knee injury, but it was I think early in camp, and he's close to being fully healthy. We'll probably limit him throughout the spring, but by June he'll be 100% full speed, and I think he's way ahead of schedule right now. Look forward to get him back. But I do think the defensive back position is very important to be aggressive on defense, to stop the run, to get after the quarterback. You've got to be able to play some one-on-one matchups occasionally, and when you've got good secondary players that can do that and can challenge routes and understand route structure and schemes and the timing of how certain blitzes and attacks work, that you can make plays. I think that we did some really good things on defense overall. Would like to play better towards the end of the year, so there's a lot of things to improve on. But adding good, aggressive, good size defensive backs can help our football team play at a high level.
As the portal becomes more important, is it more frequent that players like reach out to you or your program and say we want to come there, or do you have to be more often the aggressor and say we'd like you to come play here?
Well, I think now there's so many elements involved in recruiting. There's so many elements involved in each player and his situation that they have people reaching out to places for them. And, with all that going on, you sometimes have a little bit of an idea that something may happen or may not happen. And, you always keep your ears open and listen. And I think you can learn a lot by listening. So I just think that, man, there's so many layers to this that you do the best you can to always be within the rules, but at the same time, be aware of your surroundings and make sure that when that portal period opens, that recruiting period opens, that you're very aggressive and you're exploring all options and making sure you're trying to piece this together to add, not only what can help your football team win, but good people that you think are going to want to work hard and prove themselves for possibly just their last year, or maybe their last 2 years. And I think with us, when we get guys that just have 1 year especially, but even two, I think they want to come here with a purpose and they want to prove themselves. And we've had pretty good success in the last so many years doing that. When I've been a head coach, is getting guys with just 1 year left that want to come and make a difference.
Do you have like an ideal ratio or whatever of guys recruited out of high school versus the portal, or is it just a matter of year by year whoever's sort of the best available?
Well, we don't put a ratio on it. I do think that we still want to be very active in recruiting high school prospects and doing right by that and doing right by our state and the surrounding area. And yeah, the best case is bringing guys in, develop them, and they become great players for you. But that's unfortunately not how it always works now. There's just a lot of change. There's a lot of factors that go into, how long is it going to take to develop players? Okay, when they get developed, is someone going to try to, poach them from you in a way that you don't like? But it happens. So there's a lot of risk that go in that. When you're able to attract someone with experience who's played a lot of football already, that is probably coming here with a purpose. Sometimes you feel comfortable about, well, let's go this route and let's get somebody that can help us win right now, that has already played competitive football. And that's kind of what I think you're seeing is you're just seeing teams that understand the importance of winning right now this year. Yes, you want to build for the future and all that, but the important thing is always how can we win this next game? How can we win this next year? And I think that's what you got to factor into it. So for us, I got to help our football team win in 2024, and I think that on paper we did a pretty good job doing that. Now it's a matter of gelling it together, but I do think that that's how the landscape works now a little bit, and some people may see it different. I don't know. I'm not going to say there's not another way to skin the cat, but at the same time, how are you going to win this next year? And that's what we want to do.
You talked a couple times already now here about purpose when it comes to the portal. Are there other things you're looking for? You've had success with guys coming from Power 5 programs to your program and guys who probably came from places that people haven't heard of that have been some of your better players. So what else maybe are you looking for, too, in addition to that?
Well, there are a lot of elements to it, without question. We have had a lot of success taking young men from Group of 5 or FCS programs that want to prove themselves and that did a good job where they're at. And I think we've got a few of those pieces to our team right now, and I think they're going to do a great job just based on what I've seen, in this first month. At the same time, we probably got a lot of young men from really good programs this year as well that after researching and investigating why they want to switch and what they're looking for and what value we think they can add, we feel good about them to this point as well. And I think that we like the additions to our team. I think anytime you're trying to win football games, even guys on your team currently that play well and that play at a high level, they want to win. So they want great teammates around them. And you know what? If we have them already on our team, that's great. But at the same time, I think you can still add value by gaining experience, especially at the quarterback position, which we feel like we did with Tyler. I think bringing him in, it's his 7th year. He's coming here with a true purpose to prove himself, to prove that he can stay healthy, to prove that he can play an entire year and help his football team win, and he wants to play at the next level. So we like all the dynamics that go behind that. Now, does he need to prove that he can stay healthy? Sure he does. Is he fully healthy now? No, he's actually not. He's continuing to get back fully healthy, but we have time. But we like what we've seen to this point. At the same time, we want to develop the other quarterbacks on our roster, which we feel good about, but it doesn't happen overnight. And we used bowl prep to kind of get a glimpse of where we thought they were at, and they have made progress, but we want to see more. So I think with Pierce and Brady and even Harrison Bailey, those are three guys that we just want to continue to progress as fast as we can. But having depth at every position is important, definitely at quarterback.
You've got a highly rated transfer class, a lot of highly rated guys in it, probably none more highly rated than Tyler Barron, a guy that whose decision kind of went back and forth there at the end. Can you talk a little bit about that process and what he brings to the defense as well?
Well, we love the addition of Tyler. Anytime you get a big, tall, athletic edge rusher that has played a lot of football, man, that's a big piece. And I think, he wants to go somewhere and basically play that position and try to play that position solely if he can. I think, He was moved around a little bit, which, uh, you know, proving that he can be a great edge piece and rusher is what we want to try to help him do. So we're excited to get him here, and he gives us a lot of experience. The other two additions that we added from Tennessee and Wesley Walker and Tamari McDonald, we like those additions as well. They bring a ton of experience in the secondary. They play a lot of football. Um, they can run, they can hit, they can strike. They understand football, and there's multiple guys that a lot of positions that I think give us a lot of experience that we feel good about them at this point, and now we've got to just make sure we get them up to speed and we get them trained to know exactly what we want to do, how to do it, so that they can play fast and showcase their skills.
Jeff, a couple questions on Tyler Shuck. Given his skill set, how does he fit in with what you want to accomplish on offense? And given his injury history, were there any concerns or reservations when in that recruiting process when you were recruiting him and ultimately bringing him in?
Yeah, we look at all those factors. I do think, from a talent standpoint, he has a great deal of talent. He's very skilled. He can throw the football. He can see the field. He's 6'4.5", 6'5", and he's played a lot of football. And when he's played well. So those are all great elements to add to your football team. Yes, you look at, okay, yes, he's had some injuries. We studied exactly what they were. We had him in for a physical. We analyzed everything he had. We went through it in great detail. And you know what? He's had some unlucky times that happen actually during the season that has caused him to miss some action. And that sometimes happens, and sometimes it doesn't. But, we've all had injuries throughout our time. This last injury he had was an ankle injury that Jack Plummer had for us when he was at Purdue. David Blau had for us when he was at Purdue. It's somewhat of a common injury. We had other receivers have it at Purdue, and it's something that you can come back from. It just takes 5 to 6 months to fully heal. So I just think that there's always going to be a risk for injury, and he's going to work hard to get his body ready to play, and we're going to work hard to put him in a great position and surround him with great talent. And like I said, and we're going to continue to improve the quarterback position as much as we can between now and fall camp to make sure that all guys on deck are ready to play just in case something happens.
Jeff, do you envision Isaiah Cummings being strictly a tight end or more of like an H-back type role for him?
Well, we are excited about adding Isaiah. I think that once again he's coming here with a purpose and wants to prove his worth and prove that he can catch footballs against great competition and hopefully be able to play beyond if he can. Tight end is a position we want to add depth and we want to add some playmakers. He gives us a receiving skill to that position that we would like to have. Is he going to be an inline blocker all the time? Probably not. I think he's a guy that can do multiple things, that you can split him out and you can flex him out and let him show that athleticism. But, I think he'll come in and do a really good job. And, he cares. He wants to be here. He's from here. And he wants to prove that he can play football. So we're excited about him on our football team.
Jeff, I guess first of all, you're probably not finished. Do you still now? I mean, obviously after spring, could you add some more? Will you think you would add some more? And then what do you get with Penny Boone and Donald Chaney kind of adding to that running back room?
Well, we've had a lot of pieces, so the roster is pretty full right now. So to say we can add, we've got to see what happens on the roster after the spring. So right now, like I said, we've got a pretty full roster. So I don't see us being too active, but at the same time, we will be in position or prepare to be in a position if there becomes room, and that always changes. And I think when you get through spring practice and people kind of see where they're at and see where they're on the depth chart, things may shake and move, and we've got to be prepared for that. But right now, it's a pretty full roster. When it gets to Penny Boone, you know what? He's a big physical back. He's had an interesting path as well. We recruited him from Michigan when I was at Purdue. He went to Maryland. Maybe didn't play as well as he would like or get the action he would like as much. And then went to Toledo and played well. So I think now he wants to come back and prove that he can play against great competition at a high level. So once again, I think the circumstance aligns that we're wanting a guy that's hungry, that wants to prove his worth, and wants to utilize this spring and this summer and fall to get himself in the best shape that he possibly can to go out there and perform against great competition. Great competition. I think he understands as well. He's got to get in great shape. And right now through workouts, he's done a good job, but we want to get him in better shape that he can go out there and perform each and every week and stay healthy. But he definitely is a big, strong, physical back that we feel adds great value to our team.
You just talked about tight end a second ago. You added a number of guys at that position. What in your offense, what does having more of a receiving weapons and having better depth there sort of allow you guys to do as an offense?
Well, I think that position is vital to our success, and I think even when you look at a lot of great football teams, a lot of great NFL teams, they got great tight ends. You got to have somebody that can control inside the hashes, can stretch the field vertically if you have to, make physical catches in between linebackers and safeties, and we want that. So we've worked hard to, at least on paper, improve that position. Some guys are here. Others, I can't talk about everybody, but others, I just think in general we feel like we've once we get to the summer, we're going to have more weapons at that position. It'll provide great competition. If we can utilize those guys, that can help us in our passing game be a little more efficient, a little more explosive, and help our receivers get a little bit more open. And I think we need that. So without question, that's a very important position to our offense.
Jeff, you alluded to earlier about how the season ended last year. In terms of this offseason, how much fuel was that, not only for the players, but for just you and the coaches to want to, have some momentum and try to make sure how last year ended, it didn't happen in 2024?
Well, very proud of our football team. I thought that they played really hard all year. We found a way to win a lot of close games, which means we're playing hard to the end. It means that we're not giving in. It means that we're playing with confidence and sticking together. So that was good to see. That was a great positive that you like to see. And we did find a way to get to the ACC championship game. Now, as you look back, without question, there's a lot of fuel to use. The Kentucky game didn't go the way we wanted. To let a 10-point lead twice in the second half slip away to a loss, no, there's a lot of miscues there that we got to learn from, and that falls on me and our coaches first because I thought we didn't do a good job. And then we've got to compete to the end and just find ways to make plays. And then, of course, we get to the championship game, and defense plays outstanding, and the offense wasn't up to par. So that was disappointing. If we could just made a few plays here and there, it can change the whole course of the season. And you don't get those opportunities very much, so you got to take advantage of them when they're there. So that's disappointing. And then, of course, the bowl game didn't go the way we wanted. It was a disappointing loss. A lot of miscues that we've got to improve on as coaches that I think that we've identified already. We've got to make sure that we have a better plan and give our players a better chance to succeed. But ending that way, yes, you got to use it as fuel, and it was not the way we want to end. And that's football, and you got to, without question, work harder, and we've got to put a better plan together.